All right, so welcome to the 11th green, and here's the green that I was telling you about on the tee box in my previous video. So you can see the 11th green, and we can see from right here, we can see the darker grain coming toward us. And then as we pan around here, we can see it kind of turn silver. When it's silver, it's running away from you. When it's dark, you're putting against the grain and up the hill. So here's what the green looks like from this perspective from the tee box. As I noted in my other video, the shaded area over here, there's a ridge that kind of runs and it comes across here. Two halves. You want to be up on the top half, obviously, if the pin is up there. However, it's very tricky because if you go for that top half, leave yourself in the rough or the bunker, your very next shot could land on the upper level and trickle all the way back down. So the strategy here always is basically go for the middle of the green. If you happen to draw the ball a little bit, you'll be on the top level. If not, you're right there where I am on the lower level. So let's kind of survey the green and just see what we're dealing with. If you're familiar with my instructional videos, you'll see that I always look right away for some drainage, right? So here's a drain down here in the lower section. A lot of golfers are going to hit their golf ball down in this area. So if you look at the way the ridge presents itself, I'll show you exactly how to read it. So I'm going to set my camera here so you all can kind of watch and follow along. Here's my pitch mark right here. I'm going to put my head cover over there on the way out. Here's my pitch mark. So I flew it pin high, caught the ridge, and funneled down. You know, a lot of people have issue with this particular green just because it hurts their feelings, right? So it hurts their feelings because you hit what you think is a really nice golf shot and your ball gets repelled away. Well, it's only repelled away if the hole is cut up here on this top level. If it's cut down here on the lower level, then it's repelled toward the hole. So, you know, you can't have your cake and eat it too sometimes. I would much rather hit this green in the lower level putting back up the hill than miss my green in the rough or bunker on the other side. So I think what you do is you just don't let your feelings get hurt. So my putt is coming pin high, and I'm going to describe to you how this ridge here affects the ball. Easiest way for me to show you that is to actually roll the ball from the top down so we can see the direction. So if I've got the flag right here and I just release a ball in this area, let's see if it goes back toward you or a little bit to the left. Okay, so the ball went back toward the camera, veered just a little bit over here. So if you're basically right in the center of this area of the green, you're going to be getting your putt as it comes up the hole. It's actually going to kind of bank this way. So you would say, well, how is it that my putt is breaking up the hill? Well, you have to hit it hard enough to get it up the hill, but the way it's banking is based on this curvature. So this is not a straight ridge that runs across here. Over here on the other side, if I release a ball right here, when it goes down this hill, let's see the direction that it goes. Okay, it kind of came back into there. So where I have you positioned in the camera is kind of at the bottom of a curved ridge. So this ridge does not go perfectly straight across. If I come to the other side, right about here, release the ball, it's going to basically track down toward the camera. So as you can see, it actually has a curved ridge to it. There's a little bit of a false front, which makes it also tricky here. So if you don't hit the ball quite far enough, your ball is going to get repelled off the green right here. So, excuse me, that curving ridge that I described kind of ends right about here and goes all the way to the back of the green. And then from about right here, this ball, if it lands and spins in the front section, this is where it gains a little bit more speed and can push your ball off the green. And sometimes when this is really firm and fast, a little bit later in the summer, that ball is going to go all the way back to the edge of the rough back there. So note to self, when you're on hole 11 here and you're playing your shot into this green, You basically want to go for right here in the ridge, and you want to give yourself enough energy that if it stays up the top side, it stays on the top. If it catches the ridge like this, it propels it down here to the lower area. So now let's talk about the lower area. If I'm right here and I've done everything that I'm supposed to have done, now I have this putt, okay? My ball's been able to stay on the green because I got it to at least pin high, right? Now, if you can get a ball here to pin high, that means it's been captured and protected in this nice flat section. If the hole for the day just happens to be cut back here, which is a beautiful spot on the green, guess what? You're going to have a birdie putt. If it's anywhere else on the green, on the lower section, pretty good chance at birdie. If it's up on the upper section, we're going to have to navigate the ridge and figure out how to not only hit it firm enough to get it up the hill, but also play the break. So I've got these 4 golf balls here. What I'm going to do is putt them to 4 possible hole locations up on the top level so we can read the green. So the first one here, I'm going to go up just right of the hole location today. So I'm going to set up, putt it up the hill, and let's read it. Okay, hit it nice and firm. It goes up the hill, and as it gets to the tabletop on top, it just kind of sat there. Maybe it decided to break a little bit from right to left. Okay, now I'm going to go just left of the pin, kind of in alignment with where my head cover is. Set up to my head cover, put it across, up the hill, let's see what it does. Okay, as it went up this section of the slope, it again broke right to left. Now I'm going to move here kind of more to the middle of the bunker, put it up the hill again. Okay, as it tracks up the hill, it wants to fall a little bit to the left. And then right over here, I'm going to go to the front section. All right, so the moral of the story, if you're on number 11, you have to try to get your ball at least to the middle of the green or a little bit longer to give yourself the best chance. If you can fly your ball into the front section, have it roll up to the back, even if it catches this ridge, it's going to come down and be saved in this top section of the green. If you come up short, that's where your troubles arise on this green. If you come up short, check it into that bank, and it catches the slope, that's when you're down in the valley over there. So it's not a terribly long par 3. Just make sure that you're going for the middle of the green. Take your medicine if you miss it down on the low side when the pin's up, and vice versa. But just try to make sure you get your ball at least to the middle of the green, because if it's middle to back, you actually have a much greater opportunity to save par than if you're coming up short, because your ball is going to get repelled down into the lower area.